guys and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. Thanks for tuning back in. Thanks for coming back to see me. I'm really pleased you've done so, and I'm also really pleased to bring you my first Praesidus. I've never featured a Praesidus on the channel before. I've seen them. They've been doing the rounds. They're an American military watch manufacturer. They're definitely inspired by the military. They contacted me. They asked would I be interested in featuring one of their watches, and for all intents and purposes, they look extremely cool. They've been generous enough to send me over the Jungle Field OG. They've sent me the black canvas one. There's a couple other variations to choose from. They've also got quite a lot of watches generally to choose from. I was really pleased about to get this watch in. This one's retailing for $195, which I'll leave the different conversions up with pounds, euros and dollars in front of me, just so you can sort of have an idea of how much it's going to cost you. Shipping and stuff, maybe import is going to also come into effect, but depends on what country you are and stuff, but I digress. Yeah, an American military watch, lots and lots to like. They've used a Swiss movement in this as a quartz movement, Ronda movement, which is good to see. The specs look good, looks well sized, looks decent. Well, I say well sized, it's actually a bit smaller than most watches I've had in. Is it going to wear well though? Because sometimes watches wear big or small. It sounds crazy, but they do. Sometimes you get a 38mm and it looks more like a 40 or 41. I've had an Invicta in before that was 42mm. It wore more like a 40. How does this wear? Is it for you? I guess we'll find out together. Hopefully by the time you get to the end of the video, you'll know if it's for you or not. If it is, please use the link in the description. It's not an affiliate link. It just makes your life that bit easier. But thanks for tuning back in. There's no better time to get the camera turned around and get on with it. Alright guys, so this is the watch. This is the packaging it came in. As you can see, Jungle Field is giving you a lot of details that we're going to run through anyway. Some other bits at the side. So it's got an outer sleeve that you just obviously slide off, and then you've got the watch box inside. It just comes apart. Not a whole lot going on. You can open it up. There's some booklets and stuff in there. Sorry, I was throwing the watch around. But yeah, otherwise quite primitive packaging really. But there we are. But the main thing we really want to focus on, obviously like I said, it got a hang tag as well that was attached to the watch, as well as some stickers and stuff, which obviously I've since taken off. Let me just put this to the side, actually it's quite a long box. There we are, let's keep that there. And then what we have is the watch itself. As you can see, very military, very field style watch. Is it for you? Let's find out together. So this is a Jungle Field. Inside it's running a Ronda Quartz 763 movement. I'll bring some information up about that movement now. Yeah, it's Ronda Quartz, or Ronda generally make really good Swiss movements. I think that's why they wanted to put it in this watch, so you know you've got a decent movement inside. You can get 1 jewel or 5 jewels. It does depend on a few factors in terms of the plating and stuff used for the movement. But yeah, there you go. This is the movement that's running inside, and it's been running really well at this point, as you'd probably expect. So there you go. The construction of the watch, aside from the case, aside from the strap itself, is all 316L stainless steel. So that's the bezel, the case, crown, case back, and pin buckle clasp. It's sort of a bead blast. It doesn't look like it's just it doesn't look like it's just brush finish. It does look more like a matte sort of maybe bead blast, sandblast finish. But yeah, very consistent, very well finished, as you'd expect. The case thickness of the watch is 9.7mm. The case diameter, in fact, measures at 33.9. That's without the crown. When you include the crown, it was coming at 36.2mm. The lug width on this is 18, and the lug to lug, tip to tip, the length of the watch is coming at 41.5mm. The case back is pressed down, so you'll need to use a tool to get underneath and press it up. I've not done that because I don't want to scratch the back. The only time I'd really want to do that is when it comes time to change the battery, because it does leave marks. It's inevitable. It's very difficult to not leave a scratch mark when you're doing it. The bezel, as I said, is a fixed brushed or sandblast finished bezel in keeping with the rest of the case, and the crown is situated at the 3 o'clock position. It's just a push-pull crown. So there we are. And the strap it comes on is a canvas style strap. The only thing I found slightly odd when it came was just how far apart the holes were. At first I wasn't sure, and it tended to be a bit of a problem, which I will talk about in a few moments. as I said, pin buckle clasp, sterile on the clasp. They haven't put any signage on there. So, but yeah, it's got a quick release as well, guys, just to show you. So it does make it out easy to do strap changes and stuff. The crystal covering the dial. So they've cited it as being mineral crystal with a sapphire coating. But for all intents and purposes, that just means it's a mineral crystal, really, just to manage your expectations. So it's not sapphire. I know sapphire coating is debated whether it makes any difference. So, but yes, a mineral crystal for all intents and purposes. The water resistance is cited as being 50 meters. So that'd give you 5 atmospheres of water resistance, and the weight will appear in the top right. It's just above 37 grams, so not a lot of weight in this watch. Obviously the fact it's running a quartz movement, the fact it's so slim, the fact it's quite small, only on a canvas strap as well, it's hardly surprising that at this point it's quite a bit smaller. We wouldn't expect it to be too big, given the sort of materials and size and stuff. So there we are. But let's have a look at the dial in just a bit more detail, guys. So nothing's been applied, although the numerals, you'll see they do pop a little bit more. The 1 to 12, it does pop a little bit more because they look like they may well have been applied, because it does stand a little bit away from the case. You've got a minute track going around the outer edge. You've got an inverted triangle every hour. Inside that, like I said, you've got numerals 1 to 12 and then 13 to 24, so 24 hour on the dial. Inside that, it's a matte black dial. You've got nice elements from the colour of the white and the yellows. The yellow continues in the triangles, the inverted triangles, as well as on the hands, on the hour and minute. The proportions of the hands is done really well. You'll see they reach out to the sort of proportions you'd want them to. The second hand, unfortunately, doesn't always line up. It lines up at times when it's hitting the marker, but sometimes it doesn't, so it's a bit inconsistent. High polished hands, which is, yeah, I like the high polished hands against the matte black backdrop of the dial. As I said, Ronda 763 movement inside. Let me see if I can take the crown out. I can indeed with my gloves on. You'll see the movement will hack. You put it back in, it starts back up again. Simple as that. The loom, I'll bring that up now quickly as well so you can have a look at the loom. Yeah, the loom's decent, to be honest. I didn't know what to expect, but actually the loom is good. Shines really nicely. Lasts for a while as well, which was good to see. As I'll show you again with the crown, if I take the crown back out, as I said, you can turn it away from you or yeah, I wouldn't move it towards you really normally, guys, or go backwards on time, but yeah, whatever you want to do. And it just, obviously you can set the time for yourself, and that's it really, guys. That's the dial, that's the movement, that's the hands and indices and everything going on. They're very simple design. These sort of watches have been around a very, very long time. If it's not broken, don't try and fix it in it. But there we go. Let me just pop on the wrist, give you a quick idea of what it looks like on my wrist. Okay, so this is where I'm going to start talking about the strap. So you'll see now it is quite loose. The problem is I can't actually get it onto the shorter hole because it's almost cutting circulation off to my wrist. And that is also in no small part due to the fact the holes are so far apart. Why that needs to be like that, I'm really not sure. I like the fact they've reinforced the holes, but they're far too far apart to get a good fit. So I have to wear it really loose, which is not great. Looser than I ever would wear a watch, to be honest, so that's not ideal. But that's what it looks like on my wrist, nonetheless. What do you think, guys? Not bad at all. Okay, so guys and girls, that would now take me on to what I think is pants and pucker about the watch. If you've ever watched before, you'll know I always start with pants. I like to go on a high with pucker. So what I think is pants. It's not perfect, this watch, I'll be honest with you. So there's 3 things I do want to talk about. So first off, the mineral crystal. This watch isn't cheap. And I would like to have seen the fact they've got a quartz movement in there. It's not a cheap movement, but it's not expensive. I'd like to have seen sapphire crystal on covering the dial. I think that would have been nice. The strap holes inevitably had to be mentioned. They're too far apart for it to really get a good fit for your wrist. So you're either going to be very, very lucky or not. So it's going to be one or the other. And the price, I think $195 for what you're getting is a little bit steep. I'll be honest. There's Lorises of the world who do watches like this, and they do a fantastic job at a fraction of the price. And so yeah, the price is what I'd say as well. So the mineral crystal, strap holes and price are what I think of pants. What I think is pucker is I like the hands. I've mentioned that before. I think they look very, very nice. I do like the indices. I like the fact that it gives you a bit of depth because you've got the 1 to 12 that sort of stand a little bit away from the case. They look like they may well have been applied, which has a little bit of depth to the dial. The loom is good. The loom, yeah, very, very good for this watch. The movement, the fact they're using a Swiss movement, and Ronda is a known entity, so that's good to see. The thickness of the watch, like I said, below 10 mil. Obviously, it's and a big part of that is going to come from the crystal, so it just shows you what's possible in terms of the thickness. And the strap. So the strap generally is super comfortable. Like, I did actually really like the strap. It's very, very comfortable. It's got leather at the back. It's canvas. Quick release, but generally the strap's super comfortable. Just the holes are let it down in that regard. So the things that I think of Pukka is hands, indices, loom, movement, thickness, and the strap. And guys and girls, would I recommend this watch? I think it's a really good offering. I do. I think it's a very good offering. The fact that there is other watches that are more well priced is going to make it very, very difficult for some people to want to pay more for the price. So yes, I think it's a cool watch, but it's definitely going to come down to price. And like I said, when you've got other watches like Loris, who produce watches at a fraction of the price, it's going to be a tricky one. But I think it's a very cool watch, but I'm undecided, really. I think it's cool, but like I said, the pricing of what you're getting is definitely going to probably be a drawback. Probably not going to be, yeah, so I don't know. But so I think it's a cool watch, but like I said, price may be a stumbling block. But guys and girls, please let me know what you think about this watch. Maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as always say, don't forget to like, subscribe, and always watch your time. Take care, guys. All the very best.